Perfect. Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you guys today. For those who don't know me, I'm Julia Markham. I used to work here for about a year and a half until last February when my husband and I moved to Arizona. It's a lot hotter here, but we're enjoying it and we're excited for all that life is taking us to. That was really awkward. When I was initially talking to my brother Robbie about what we'd want to talk about today, we initially talked about the importance of professionalism in the workplace. And now I have very little experience when it comes to working the grave shift. I only worked it a couple of times during my time at AG, but I've come to know through both personal experience and through testimonies of others that this is the party shift. Now, being the party shift is not a bad thing. In fact, you keep people on your team by being fun, lively leaders. And I've really admired the camaraderie that this shift has really enjoyed and had. However, it has been pointed out to me that because of the slower work and more granted freedoms, like using the internet while on shift, that sometimes the Graves team has become a bit rowdy. So things like this can happen, or this, or heaven forbid, like this. So while I was preparing for this, I began researching some ideas of what we can do to create a more professional workplace. But a lot of the things that I was finding were a lot more on the negative side and the list of don'ts. Don't overshare with coworkers. Don't let coworkers take advantage of you. And don't trash talk your boss. There were several other things like this. And now all of these are valid and good and appropriate, but I didn't really want to be a Debbie Downer. So I wanted to focus something a little more positive. So oh no, I got those mixed up. Just kidding, I was fine. So I want to talk about respect is what we're going to talk about today. By raise of hand, who has had a difficult time working with someone because you didn't respect them? Who has lost respect for someone they've worked with and it's made it a lot harder? Definitely. And then who enjoys working with people that they do respect? Me too. If we as leaders in our workplace stomp around commanding everyone to respect and admire us, we'll likely have fewer friends and potentially more enemies. But there are better ways to inspire someone to respect you than vocally demanding it. So I want to talk about how we can earn our coworkers' respect. And I have 11 tips for that. So the first is display self-confidence. Show your passion for company goals and encourage your coworkers to do the same. Employees are more likely to follow a confident leader. Strive to complete each task and assignment on time. As the grave shift supervisors, I know that you guys have a lot more responsibilities to fulfill before the day shift the next day. So you have a lot on your plate besides all of the different things that you have going on as the shift coordinators. But as you complete each task and do that on time, you're not only showing those under you, but those over you, other leaders, that you keep your word, you're going to be responsible, and you have a high level of accountability, which definitely builds that respect factor. On the other hand, we want to show humility. Be willing to admit to mistakes. Be willing to point out the things that you do fall short in and, the flaws that we have, because we all have flaws. I will say that on this, that we don't want to dwell on our flaws and mistakes, as making yourself sound insecure will only damage your confidence and that image that you're trying to maintain. On the other hand, have patience with others. As a former AG employee, I was really grateful for the grace and patience that my leaders gave me as I was learning. Every operator learns at different speeds and different rates. So as we encourage them, rather than beating them down and being impatient with them, we express our confidence in them and our faith in them that they can do it and they can do hard things. Next one is don't repeat workplace gossip. And this was added by me, or don't gossip at all. I think this is pretty much common sense, but I mean, who has shared something with another person and regretted it later? I know I have. Just don't do it. Don't do it. So, on the other hand of that, be inclusive. Rather than excluding people with workplace gossip, try to be inclusive and encourage employees to ask questions, but set proper boundaries as needed and have fun and chat. And then share knowledge with coworkers. This is a great opportunity for you as shift coordinators to relieve yourself of some of the tasks that you have. Give operators different tasks that they're able to accomplish. And this is especially helpful with the team mentors as they're preparing to maybe advance in positions eventually. And when they do that, praise them, praise your coworkers. This is something that I was always very grateful about while I was working at AG, that the shift coordinators were always very positive in chat and were always saying, you guys are awesome, keep going, get through that drop. It was really helpful to know that they recognized the work that we were putting in, and it really helped get through those long days and those long drops. Be neat and organized. This, again, is pretty common sense. Just keep your workspace clean, and that can definitely build respect. I know that the dress code for Graves is pajamas, and I think that's totally fine. That's totally fun. But I think that there is a balance that can be made. You know, look like you're going to work and look like you're a leader in the workplace. And then always be professional, even at office parties. Now, our friends at the office are not good examples of that. But all of these things that we've talked so far, make sure that you're doing those things at work parties and at any other work functions outside of work. And lastly, tip number 11, respect your coworkers, even if you don't like them. This is a simple rule of reciprocity, that when we give respect to other people, most likely they're going to give that respect back to us. So we give, we get. We're going to be able to have that greater respect and that greater efficiency in the workplace as we do so. So following these tips, your team will be on your way to greater professionalism in the workplace. And again, that greater respect often leads to greater efficiency and hopefully great friendships that will continue to be maintained and created at AG. Party on, Graves! Do you have any comments or questions?
During the presentation, do you ask for any actual responses or?
One second, I'm gonna stop the recording.